Hello, welcome to another Informatica video tutorial. My name is Fernando Guerrero. I am a cloud solution specialist, and in this video we are going to talk about how to get the header from Excel documents. The first thing that we will do through this video is to answer the question of why sometimes you need to get the header, and then after that I will show you a little demo and how to get the header from Excel file. So the first thing that you are wondering is like, why do you need to get the header from Excel file? Well, maybe as simple as just you need to get the name of the columns that come in your header. You need that information. The second reason is like maybe you need to do validation that your file is correct before you process all the data. So for example, let's say that you have a file, and this file has the item ID column, purchase date column, and ship date column. So the purchase date and the ship date, both of them, the data type is date. Well, just imagine if the file that you receive has those columns in the inverse order. So you have the ship date first and then the purchase date. From the data perspective, the ETL is going to see, okay, I have item ID, which is an integer. Then the next column is a date, and the next column is also a date. So nothing is wrong with the data, but actually it is, because you got the columns in the opposite order. So the process is going to extract the data and it's going to process everything like thinking that it's correct. So something that you could do is first read the header, validate that the columns are in the correct order that you want, and only if the columns are in the expected order, then the next step will be to process the data. This is just a simple example of why sometimes you need to validate the headers. So now we will do a little demo and you will see how to get the header from the Excel file.
Okay, now we are going to do the demo, and I have this mapping ready to extract the Excel header. But before running this mapping, I want to show you one of the key elements for this mapping, and that's the element that is going to help us to identify the structure of the Excel document. So we go to New, Components, and then we choose Intelligent Structure Model. We are going to create a new one. Name it any way you want. Test Excel. It's going to be based on a file that we are going to provide, and I have here one file that you see. It has only three columns, and the header is ID, name, and age. So I am going to provide this file as an example. I am going to ask to discover the structure, and I want this in relational output. And you see, it was able to find the columns that we have and the header that we have. So we are going to save it. Now here in the mapping, we need to use that element that we just created. So we are going to come and get a structure parser, and I already have it here, the structure parser. And here in the structure parser, we are going to make use of the element that we created before, the intelligent structure. I have here another one, it's different name, but it's the same one that I created before. But yeah, it's basically the same. And you are going to notice one thing here. When we have the output fields, we have two groups. One of them is called elements. Basically, this one is going to give you the data that you have here in the columns. That's what it's going to give you. And this other element here, this is going to give you the name of the header. So if you want to capture the name of the header, you need to send this output to a different target. So here we have from the structure parser, we are sending to this target all the elements. We basically the data inside the file. But then here we want to analyze what is the header, because we want to check if the header is correct or not, if it's in the expected order that we want. and you can just print this information to a file, or you can do any kind of validation. So in this example, what I am doing here, if you see, we have only one incoming field, and my expression is checking if this field is giving me this string. This is, if you look at the file, we have ID, name, and age. So Informatica is going to create one string that says a string. I know this a little bit sounds redundant, but what Informatica is going to produce is all this, okay? All this, including the word string. So I want to make sure if this string comes in exactly this way. If it's true, then I set to 1. If it's not true, I set it to 0. For example, if someone sends the file and here they send the age field and here they send the ID field, you will get that a string that is different, because the string is going to say a string, age, name, and ID. So using this equation, you are going to be able to validate if your header is correct or not. And just to give you an example, I am going to run this mapping. So this is the mapping task. I will run it. I go to my jobs. It is running right now, and this is going to send the information to an Excel, to a flat file, and you can do with that file whatever you want. You can send, you can get that string and set it to a variable, and then you can send that variable to an email notification. So it's up to you what you want to do. Here this video just showing you. Okay, so finish. So if we go to the mapping, you will see we are sending this to a target, and the target is called target Excel header validator. So let's gonna search for that. Let's gonna search for that file, header validation. Okay, so we have here the file, and you see here the file. This is the target. It has the string that comes from there, showing the order of the header, and these values are the values that we decide to do here in the expression. So first one, I am checking if this one is correct, then generate a 1, otherwise a 0, and then here I have another expression to set a variable, because I would like to have this mapping inside a task flow and then use this variable to send a notification to someone else about if the file has a valid header or not. Yeah, but this shows you the string that we get, and this is the way that how you can get the header of an Excel document. If you want to know more about the Informatica Intelligent Structure Model, you can visit this site. This has information about all the different settings and all the things that you can do with Intelligent Structure Model. I will highly recommend to visit this documentation. You can send us any feedback about our videos to our social media platforms or to our email. We will appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial video.